Hello, and welcome to Dashboard U, brought to you by Ross Video. My name is John Naylor. I'm the Marketing Product Manager for Dashboard. In this movie, we'll look at using XML in Panel Builder. We'll show how to read an XML file in, and then parse it using a couple of different methods, one using XPath and the other using getTagsByName. I'll also cover how to access web-hosted XML using Ross Video's RSS feed as an example. Let's start off by looking at the XML we're going to read in. I've created an XML file here, which is supposed to be the team names in the English Premier Soccer League. It's not complete, I've only bothered to put in 3 names here, but you can see the structure of the file, and that's what's important. We have this outermost tag here called League, and then it has some children, each of which are a team, and the data inside of a team, we have a couple of attributes, the name of the team and a file name. In this case for Manchester United, the file name it points to is Manu XML. If we go and have a look at that XML file here, you'll see this is the squad. And again, it's not complete. I've just put enough data in here for it to be a good example. We have the outermost tag here being team, followed by squad, and then a list of players. And the players have attributes like their shirt number, the position they play, their name, and their nationality. So let's go and have a look at the application that can read this in. So here's the XML example application, and this is available for download from our website alongside this video. And we've got 2 demos here. It's the one on the top that we'll concentrate on right now. And this is where we read in the team's XML file, the league XML, and each team is then going to be used to fill in this team roster table here. So if I initialize it and then press the XPath button, this uses the XPath method to get the data out of the XML file. You can see if I change the team I have selected here, the roster updates on the right. Let's go back and initialize it and just show you that the getTags method produces identical results by a slightly different method. Now let's go and look at the code. So let's have a look at the code that's underneath the XPath button. We'll go into edit mode and double click this button. You see we have a task underneath it. I'll just expand that and examine this code. So here is the code underneath the XPath button. Line 1 shows that we get a file name that's from a constant that's been defined in this file. And then on line 4, we read in the XML document. It's a simple call to OGScript parse XML with a file path. If that's been successful, then XML doc will be returned with a non-null value. So on line 5, we just trap that exception and write something to the debug if we do get a null, but the happy day scenario happens from line 8 onwards, where we just write to the debug to say we're parsing XML, and then we run the XPath command. You can see the command there is pretty simple. It's ogscript.run XPath with a search term and the XML documents that we read in. That XPath search will go and recall all the team nodes that are children of league nodes at the top level in the file. Then we get the length of the node list. What XPath returns is a list of nodes, so we can interrogate its length. And then lines 12 through 20, they iterate through that list of nodes, and they use the getAttribute method shown on lines 14 and 15 here to pull the data out of that XML file that we saw earlier. Lines 17 and 18 write those into a couple of array variables that I defined in this file so that we can access them later and use them to populate the tables. So here's the code that's underneath the equivalent button called getTags, and it uses just a slightly different way of getting the data out of the XML file. Here on line 9, we've got a call to xmldoc.getElementsByTagName, and we've passed it the name team. What that will do, it will pull every single element in the document that has the tag team. In our case, that will pull the same list that the call to XPath did, shown previously, but beware, Because it's not qualified by any path in front of it, if we had team tags at other places in the document, it would pull those too, with potentially undesirable results. Now let's go and have a look at the other example application we've got in this file. This is an RSS reader. I'm going to initialize it, and then it's programmed to read Ross's RSS feed. If I press this button, then it'll go to the internet and pull down Ross's RSS feed, and then give us the title of the feed in this box here, and then paint each item in the feed into the title box, the link box, and the description box. And I can go and cycle through the various items in this feed like this, using this control here. Let's go and have a look at the code that does this. Here's the code that's underneath the Ross RSS button. The lines to concentrate on are line 2, which is an example of using a URL pointed to a website, Ross Videos in this case, as the XML source, and we're reading that into a variable called RSS. Again, we check that it's not null, make sure that we've got a valid XML document here. And the next one to look at is the, let's have a look, line 8. In RSS feeds, the data is not passed as attributes of the tags, but as the text content. Text content is the content between the opening tag and the closing tag of an element. I've only been able to touch on using XML in this video. W3 Schools is a great place to start if you want to learn more about XML, its document object model, and XPath. Thanks for watching this video from Dashboard U. Come back often to see what other videos we make. And remember that Panel Builder is so simple to use that even the marketing guy can do it.